Hey everyone, Tammy here from Central Alberta FASD Network. We thought it would be a great idea to introduce our staff a little bit, what we do and who we are, just so you have a better idea of, who your Central Alberta FASD Network team is. So with me today, I have Janel Dodd. She is our Correction Services Coordinator. Do I have that right, Janel?
That's correct, yeah.
Good. So I'm just going to ask Janel a few questions, and so just to help you get to know her a little bit better. So Janel, our first question is, please provide a quick description of your role with the network.
Hi, Tammy. So as the Correction Services Coordinator for the FASD network in Red Deer, my job is to get involved with people that have a diagnosis of FASD or are suspected of having FASD, who are also involved in the correction system. So that can be people that are on probation and parole, but also people that are just starting through a court process. They maybe have new charges and they're just going to court needing to find legal help, that kind of thing. Right up until I actually go into Drumheller and Bowden institutions, as well as the Red Deer Remand Center to support people in there that are suspected or have a diagnosis of FASD.
Okay, great. What do you like the best about your role with the network, or what makes your role meaningful to you?
Well, I think the most important thing is that I work with an amazing team at the FASD network. I couldn't do my job as well as I do without having an incredible team around me. The other thing for me is that it's estimated that 60 to 80% of people that are going through the legal system have FASD. And so it's important for us to have a presence within the corrections system, since there's such a high amount of people that have FASD that are involved. And so being able to meet those individuals, and make sure they're understanding the correction system, what's happening for them, the court system, all of that is just extremely important to me and to society as a whole, I think.
Yeah, that's true. And I know that we've been able to engage and collaborate with so many services and agencies and supports with corrections that
Yes.
has been really great for our network.
Absolutely, yeah.
What are some of the ways that you support clients and carers?
So, like I said, in the community, if somebody has recently been charged with something, and they're just starting to go through the court process, like they have to appear before the judge, or or just starting on probation or anything like that, I can help them navigate, getting a lawyer, getting connected with legal aid or other resources in the community. I can help them with getting to their PO appointments, whether that be through reminders that they have a PO appointment coming up so they don't miss them. Sometimes I'm able to transport people, so I can actually give some people rides depending on the situation. And then really, the biggest thing in my role, the biggest thing that I'm doing right now is going into the remand center and the institutions, and being able to identify the individuals in the system that have the indicators of FASD and would benefit actually from an assessment. We've just started doing assessment before the pandemic hit. We just started doing assessments in the institutions from Drumheller, Bowden, and Red Deer Remand. And that's going to be life-changing for people to actually have a diagnosis and know why their brain functions the way that it does, as it plays into how they ended up becoming incarcerated.
And even before the assessment and diagnosis, I know you were able to provide some education and awareness around FASD for those that were institutions as well. So that's great.
Yeah, before the pandemic hit, I was going into each of the institutions at least once a month and doing educational sessions for people that are interested, the inmates that are interested in learning about FASD. So, and almost always from those information sessions, I'm able to speak to somebody, at least one or two people afterwards, that really end up having the indicators of FASD. So it always makes for interesting conversation, and then also being able to identify people to get them more resources.
For those that are watching this, I don't know if you notice it, but we are noticing a little bit of a lag in our video. We're going to keep pushing forward, but just so you know that I'm noticing that our screen's freezing a little bit. Are you noticing that, Janelle? I
haven't noticed it on my end, but
okay. Well, that's good.
we'll
So we're
just
just
go
going to
with
push
it.
forward. So bear with us. So what is one thing you wish people knew more about your role?
You know, this was a tough one because I am pretty vocal with the community about what I do. Um, One thing I think that because, you know, just shortly before the pandemic hit, we were starting up this pilot program to get assessments started on individuals that are in the Bowden and Drumheller Institution and Red Deer Remand. So that's something brand new that we're doing, and we'll be able to. Oh, my internet is saying that it's unstable, but we'll check the video afterwards. um, oh, we're frozen. We're frozen.
Sorry, Janelle, we had a little bit of technical difficulty. So just continue what you were saying.
So I was just saying that, yeah, that this is a new pilot program that we're starting, and we'll pick back up as soon as we're able to after the pandemic, and just identifying individuals that are incarcerated in those 3 facilities, and getting our clinic team in there to do a full FASD assessment on them.
Nice. And that, you're right, that can be life-changing for individuals, that they have the opportunity to go through the process for assessment and diagnosis, regardless of whether they are incarcerated or not. But just how extremely validating and how many resources they'll be able to access when they leave the institutions.
Absolutely, yes.
So what is the most challenging part of your role in supporting FASD?
I think the most challenging part for me is I love working with the individuals. I find that a lot of people that are supporting somebody who may have FASD, they don't know a whole lot about FASD, and they don't understand how FASD may be impacting the individual, and may be a huge contributor into why the individual is making the choices that they make. So just being able to educate people around the individual, and making sure that they understand that this person's FASD plays a huge role in probably every area of their life. And I think that's so important, you know, and supporting somebody with FASD looks very different than supporting somebody with a different disability, say somebody that's missing a limb or is in a wheelchair, or, you know, has difficulty with speech or something. Every disability is so different. So, you know, knowing exactly, you know, how this disability affects an individual.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it is extremely important for people to build their awareness and their education around FASD. And especially, like you said, no 2 individuals with FASD are the same in terms of how the disability impacts them. So yeah, it can be really hard. You're right. I understand it can be really hard for people to understand what's the best way to support someone, and across the lifespan even.
Yes, absolutely.
What do you find the most rewarding?
Just watching the people that I support grow. I mean, I have always been one that celebrates even small successes, what others might consider small successes. I just love seeing, you know, little changes, just little glimpses of, you know, somebody realizing their worth and their value in this world. I think it's so important that the people that I support know that they are valuable and they do have a lot to contribute to this world. And so when they start to realize, a lot of our individuals, when they come to us, their self-esteem is so low, and they've had such a difficult time prior to coming to us. So, you know, I always tell people, part of my job and what I love the most is helping people to just, you know, realize that they're really valuable. They are very, very valuable. I genuinely care for the people that I support. Absolutely. I can provide them with a safe environment for them to open up, and they know they're going to be supported by me, and they can be honest with me. So.
And in the short time that I've come to know you, I definitely see you as that bringer of hope.
Good.
So why don't you tell us one fun thing about yourself?
Well, as you can see in my background, I am a huge lover of houseplants. So I think I have about 35 houseplants in my tiny little apartment. And I think it's part of, you know, again, that growth, watching them grow, watching new leaves come out or flowers, you know, them grow flowers. I love it. And I feel more in touch with nature, having these plants around me. So.
Well, and it's great that you can bring a little bit of that growth and, like you said, the outdoors into the indoors.
Absolutely.
I know with our work from home policy, it's been difficult adjusting to COVID-19 and the current situation. What do you think has been the toughest for you?
Not being able to sit with my clients, not being able to talk to them face to face, you know, and for them to see that I'm smiling, you know, and that, you know, just that physical reaction that I have when they tell me some good news or, you know, one of the positive thing that they've done lately. And I think for a lot of our people with FASD, just having that face-to-face contact is so much more meaningful for them than just a text or a phone call. That visual, that face-to-face contact is extremely important for the people that I support.
Mm-hmm.
I
And I
miss
know
that
you've been
so
reaching
much.
out to a lot of people through social media, Facebook, text, phone
Yeah,
calls. So that's really great to know.
yeah,
And so for anyone watching this, just so you know, you can always reach out to Janel on Facebook. You
yep.
can text with her. You can contact her through our network, and we'll put those contacts at the end of our videos as well, so you know how to reach out to us. So thank you, Janel, and I appreciate you meeting with me today.
Yeah, no problem. Take care.
See ya.
Bye.